The standard cosmological model was that it emerged from a Big Bang and that the universe was expanding, but that at some point it would contract back on itself. And this was Hawking's idea anyways, and then collapse back down into another singularity. It's my understanding that over the last few decades, evidence has accrued in incontrovertible manner that the rate of expansion is actually increasing rather than decreasing. And I believe that's the great mystery that's propelled scientists to posit the existence of such phenomena as dark energy. First of all, explain why that's surprising that the rate of increase or the rate of expansion is increasing. And then would you explain how that view has changed over time and where we're at now?
So I got to hear Stephen Hawking speak at the Royal Astronomical Society meeting in London in 1995. He couldn't speak for a very long time, so he wasn't able to actually speak in real time, but he could move his fingers and he could move his eyes and he could type on this very special keyboard, which the ex-husband of his current nurse at the time had invented. That's a whole other story. I can recommend a book by my friend Charles Seif called Hawking. He could answer one question and it would take him about 10 minutes to answer a question. Someone asked him in the audience, "Professor Hawking, you're rumored to be the most brilliant man alive, and yet you've written this book that almost no one, besides, a younger Jordan Peterson perhaps, had read cover to cover. Why did you write this book?" And he answered in his computerized synthetic voice, "Because my daughter needed to pay for college." Interesting that this great man, this great intellect, trapped in this body that had, been robbed of all of its physical kind of maneuvering and so forth, so facile with his mind. It was really an incredible thing to see. When Hawking wrote that book, it is true, the expectation was that the universe would eventually collapse on itself, would eventually undergo what's called a big crunch, which is essentially the opposite of the Big Bang. We would observe, if we were living billions of years hence the story went, that we would see not galaxies being redshifted, but galaxies being blue shifted, because we're all going to combine and eventually into a collapse of an enormous, if you like, gravitational time bomb.